It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Steve.
There's not many bad cheeses.
I don't think I've found one that I don't like yet.
Right.
There may be somewhere I'm like, that was good, but I'll eat it once.
Yeah, and if you're talking about charcuterie meat, there's nary a bad charcuterie meat.
Who would have thought that this podcast, 7 minutes in, we're now charcuterie guys?
I even know how to spell that too.
It's charcuterie.
And Kyle.
I also don't think it's like super normal for us to be at an age where we would say, oh yeah, if I saw who was the Skinnerd who, went boom boom in the mountains off the airplane. Is that all of them or one of them? Was that Leonard or Skinnerd?
I think a few of them.
Multiple Leonards?
I'm not sure if they all went by Leonard or not.
So they all went by Skinnerd.
Yes.
So Leonard or Skinnerd went boom boom in the mountains.
Now, here they are, two guys who are living in style, Steve and Kyle.
Timely humor right there. Oof. Yeesh.
We don't usually hit a lot of nails on the head. So, recapping Denver and Skinnerd plane crashes from decades ago. Mm-hmm. If I had to guess, were those both in the 70s?
Skinnerd was in the 70s. I think John Denver, I thought that was like 80s or 90s.
When did John Denver go boom boom? 90s.
Yeah.
90s. But, so that means Denver was pretty close to JFK Jr.
Yeah. Yeah, right around the same time.
So
Payne Stewart, former PGA golfer. Yeah.
We don't hit a lot of nails on the head. So when you and I are recapping decades-old celebrity plane crashes, seemingly hours before plane crashes become the du jour of the news.
They're just like falling out of the sky. What the heck?
Now
and the fact that there's videos and everything, it's some of the worst stuff I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Especially that one in Philly. It looked like a missile was coming in.
Don't say that too loud. There's a lot of people on Twitter who will, start saying, "Yeah, you're right. It does."
Yeah,
you're right. You know what else looked like a missile? The one that hit the Pentagon.
Yeah, I'm usually up for a good conspiracy theory, but I don't know. Not this morning.
Well, a plane crash with wreckage.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm not even. What my implication is that this conspiracy theory is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Mm-hmm. Okay, and you're talking to a guy who will say out loud that Lee Harvey Oswald was just boxing books.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm telling you,
rough day at the book boxing depository.
Everybody's had a bad day at work. But what I'm telling you is, if you believe this one, this is where you're the dumbest person on the planet.
Yeah, that's where our paths diverge.
Yeah. So you and I had, even before I texted you, I'd been throwing some merch ideas around about Boom Boom in the Mountains, and those are officially shelved. So we don't hit any weird blogs that say, "Can you believe these two insensitive podcasters?" Mm-hmm. Because then, God forbid, somebody might listen to this thing.
Yeah, they'd have to seek us out, download us, listen to us, then be offended. They couldn't just be offended right off the bat.
So maybe it falls into the, any publicity is good publicity, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
Right? You and I, we finally get off the ground with our new Conspiracast, where just everything's a conspiracy, and that's how we finally make money.
Yeah.
Because I've thought about it. We can't be canceled. We are truly the uncancelable.
Oh, you can't cancel something that no one knows about.
Yeah, you can try, but I don't know exactly what you're taking away from us, because to cancel you and I, Steve, you can't take away the money because there is none.
Yeah.
You'd have to physically drive to Steve's house, unhook these microphones, and walk them out of your house, which is burglary.
Yeah.
We can't be canceled. We're the uncancelable.
Yeah.
We should be the beacon of hope for those lunatics. Because you can't get rid of us.
Uh-huh.
But speaking of merch, there is some new merch, non-airplane related.
Yeah.
On the shop right now at steveandkyle.com/merch. The quickest way to spell charcuterie, charcuterie. That's up there. As well as your favorite jumbo wrestler, Barney Baloney. Which was a very brief reference, but stuck with me for the last week plus.
I have no idea what the context of that was.
That was, we were simply talking about my trip to the Royal Rumble. I believe you may have mentioned Barney Baloney over the outro music last week.
So
it was a very brief reference.
It was literally like just a throwaway line.
Yeah.
But we now have merch for
Absolutely.
Barney Baloney.
Yes.
First one to send us a picture of them wearing their Barney Baloney t-shirt. We'll send you something from the studio here. We have all kinds of trinkets and things laying around
There's
here.
There's a tea tin. There's some candy. There's a Larry. I don't know if can we give up the Larry Ferrari cassette?
No.
That stays.
Yeah,
we've got 2 dreidels.
Yeah.
With different, don't want to say lingo on it.
No, probably
verbiage. Yeah, that's a good word. Yeah, absolutely.
Couple stickers.
Got a Ben and Jerry's koozie, maybe a lanyard, postcard of one of the most beautiful bridges you'll ever see.
Some Middlesworth chips. We'll just crunch them up and
into the bag with other stuff.
We'll use it as like padding to make sure that nothing gets damaged.
And please, if you're buying Barney Baloney, one, I need to hear the first conversation you have with another human about that, because I can't fathom anybody ever understanding what you're wearing.
Yeah, I mean, you could walk up to me next time you see me, and I'd be like, I don't understand that. I don't get that. Oh, it's got my name on it. Okay.
Yeah. I know what everybody's waiting for, Steve, so we got to get right into it.
What's
and
that?
Yes, I was at the Royal Rumble 1 week ago.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, the ramp was as beautiful as ever. I don't know if you have the picture I texted you that you can maybe pull up on the Tron so we can give a very brief recap. Or also, if you would like, Steve, I could send you one of the about 30 videos I took.
No.
Are you
please,
sure?
Please.
How about this? You pick a number
and
between 1 and 20. And I'll text you one of that number video right now that I took, and we can play it for everybody.
You know, I think that this is better off.
So 1 through 20, if you...
All right, hit me up with 16.
16. Boy, that's a great choice. All
right, so here...
Let me pick this one. I'll send it to you.
That ring is quite a distance from you.
I feel like, and I'm not like trying to say that, oh no, I was right next to the ring. I wasn't. But I feel like camera phones, and I don't know if don't do a fair judgment of distance, right?
The depth perception is a little bit off. Like, I had to look to say, where the hell is the ring? Because originally I thought that this was the ring here.
Oh, sure.
And I thought that this was, I didn't see the ropes up there. I thought that it was, that they were coming in from the left, and I was like, dang, you got some good seats.
Yeah. So, no, we did still have really good seats. Like I said, we were in the lower bowl, row 22 of the lower bowl.
This is the Royal Rumble.
The WWE, the Royal Rumble, the granddaddy of them all, as everybody says.
Yes.
So, as you can see the outline of the ramp there, Steve, which is what everybody was waiting to hear about. Now, we had the...
By the way, to give some context, going back, 2-3 years?
That was summer of 2023, yeah. So
the ramp at the event that you went to was a big deal to you because it wasn't simply, how typically when you watch wrestling on TV, when they show somebody running into the ring, coming out from backstage, it's a straight shot down into the ring. You were very, very excited because this ramp included a hockey stick-like bend shape to it.
Boy, did it.
Well, maybe a 40-degree angle.
Yeah.
So they had to run down the ramp, make a slight turn, and then continue running till they got into the ring.
And let me tell you, because for SummerSlam, that's one thing. Because at SummerSlam, Steve, those are all regular matches, right? So it's now come to the ring, wrestler A. Wrestler A walks down. Now come to the ring, wrestler B, right? They come down. But with the Royal Rumble, Steve, that's not the way it goes.
No.
Okay? The way it goes to the Royal Rumble is they do a countdown clock. You got to get to that ring because you got to start throwing people over the top rope.
Sure, and I mean, the longer the ramp to the ring, the less time you're wrestling.
So that's a decent length ramp.
Yeah, I would
with
say
a curve in the middle.
100 yards? I don't know.
Pretty darn close. So when I get there and I sit down, I think, oh my God, this is more beautiful than I anticipated.
How early were you at the arena?
Not very early.
Okay, so it's not like they let you in 6 hours early so you can watch.
No, we
they do warm-ups. Do they? Is it like batting practice?
So all the wrestlers come out and like act like they're throwing people over the ring before they all walk to the back again. No, not this time. Not this time. The pay-per-view started at 6 p.m. Eastern, which for me as I get older, when I saw that, I think that was the most excited I got all weekend. Because normally it's a 7 p.m. start. They used to be 8 p.m. These like pay-per-views, and they now go 4 hours about. And
it's aired live. There's no
delay.
Not like an hour or two delay or something. Okay.
Nope. So 6 p.m. hits. 6 p.m. hits on Peacock, which I know you were tuning in. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
So 6 p.m. hits, and that's the most giddy I've been, Steve. I was a kid in a candy store. Okay? Let me tell you how quickly the age caught up to me, though. Okay? So, as you can see where I'm sitting, and I'll post this picture of my seats for the WWE Royal Rumble, again, the granddaddy of them all, on our social media at Steve and Kyle.
Yeah.
That area on the right of the photo is where the wrestlers come out.
Okay.
So what they do is you see the big Jumbotron, and boy, did I feel the need for the 4.5 hours this show went on to justify what I paid for this ticket, which is there's no justification for what I paid for that ticket. Again, $410 by refusing to look at the screen.
Okay. So you really needed to convince yourself that the seat that you had was adequate and that there was no need for any external view.
So I'm trying to watch that ring and see if 2 feet hit the ground of wrestlers who are getting thrown over the top rope.
Now, if they go over the rope but still land in like their
on
feet,
the apron, all fine.
They're out?
Okay. No, they're in.
So their feet have to hit the actual ground.
2 feet.
3 feet.
Have to hit the actual ground.
A couple feet down.
So that's the the sight of many a camera moment where I'm hanging onto the top rope and your legs are wiggling and I'm not going to touch, and then they a lot of guys will flip back over the rope, which I could do that too.
Okay.
So the Royal Rumble started, and they do a men's and women's Royal Rumble, and these matches take. I mean, there's supposed to be 2 minutes between each wrestler entering, so they take minimum 1 hour. These are long matches. So it's a 4.5 hour pay-per-view. So the screen will go black when they're about to show on the screen the countdown from 10, 9. And every time that screen would go black and the number like 10 seconds would hit, everybody in the arena, 65,000 plus, would stand up.
Yeah, of course.
And you didn't have the option to stay seated. Well, you did if you wanted to look like an idiot who wouldn't catch the next great wrestler coming up.
Right. I mean, if you don't want to see the granddaddy of them all, you stay seated. Right?
And
maybe put that on the poll. If you don't want to see the granddaddy of them all, do you stay seated?
Unbelievable. So I tried a few times, and it didn't work.
Okay.
Because you can't see anything. So you have to start. So you're standing up. But then you sit down after the wrestler gets almost to the ring. About how much time's left, Steve, before the next timer goes off?
Maybe a minute.
Tops.
Now, when they come out, they're sprinting to the ring, right?
Some of them.
Or
Some of them are getting their intros off, and they're doing their little twirls, and they're walking or they're trotting. Some people are sprinting. It felt like a Catholic wedding.
Stand up, sit down. Lots of it.
And I got back to the hotel that night. We got back it was right around midnight. And we were talking about, do we want to, let's go, I wouldn't mind going out and getting another drink. We walked past, we wanted to go back to the room first. And the few bars we walked past had, kind of frat bros lined up outside. Like I haven't done that since I was in my 20s. I'm not going to do it now.
Did you made the grave mistake of, let's just stop back at the room first? Because if you do that, that's code for, I want to go out, but I don't want to tell other people that I don't really want to go out. So I'm just going to stop back at the room. And
precisely.
Yeah.
I didn't want to.
No.
I was happy to go back to the room.
Yep.
Happy to do it.
You're already back into regular Kyle life at that point.
Yep.
Thinking about how you got to get your taxes done next week and, your work schedule.
I'm already plotting the drive home the next morning.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, where am I going to stop? I want to get some Yingling on the way home. How am I going to make all this? What time can I be home? Whatever.
Hoping that your brother stopped over to shovel your driveway or something.
Right.
You're back in regular person mode.
You're absolutely in the headspace of it's time to like I'm done. The Royal Rumble's done.
Shut off.
Yep. I've got a
Switch
text.
flipped.
I'm like, I wonder how long it takes because I valeted the car. How long does it take to
Valet? Look at you, man.
That's a whole nother topic. Because if you had to pick one person that you know who's less of a valet person
than you, I mean Nikki B.
Right.
That's it.
A toddler,
Right?
a toddler wearing diapers, and then me.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't valet his cozy coupe.
Right. So same breath. Right. Me and Nikki B.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I valeted the car. Nervous. Couldn't.
I don't blame you.
Not about not about oh, I don't ding the car.
Yeah.
About how does it work? Because I've never done it.
Okay. So you pull up and no doubt have a million questions to ask this. What are you doing with it? Where does it park?
Yeah.
How do you know when I'm ready to get the car back?
So you just drive it. You just hop right in and take her around.
You guys ever seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off? I better not see any of those hijinks. Because when you're doing something you haven't done before, you turn into a big stupid idiot.
So we get back to the hotel room that night, and I sit down. I forget what he had to do. The friend I was with, Jason, he had to do something. So I sit down on the bed, and a few minutes later, I'm like, all right, I'm going to get up, and I medicine to take because I'm an old man, whatever. So I get up, and I said, oh boy, my legs hurt bad from the Catholic wedding wrestling show we just went to.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot of stand-up, sit-down.
And I think that's all it took for both of us to acknowledge.
Yeah.
We weren't leaving that room again.
Isn't that great? Whether it's a verbal or a text or something, that acknowledgement, I can definitely relate because it almost happened to me last night too. I had plans to
last night at home.
Okay. I had plans to go over to my buddy Ben's house because he was going to be working on his truck in the garage. Yes. I haven't hung out with him in a bit, so I was like, "Yeah, I'll come over. I'll give you a hand." And
God, I'd love to know what that's like.
So after the kids were in bed, it was like 7:55. So I had told him, "Yeah, once the kids are in bed, I'll head over. 20-minute drive." And finished. I closed Evelyn's bedroom door, and that's like, "You still going to go over there?" And I said, "Yeah, I haven't heard from Ben all day, but let me."
What time was it?
7:55.
Okay.
I said, "Let me."
It's pretty late.
Let me send him a text. So I just sent him the text like, "You still working out in the garage tonight?" And at least 80% of me was hoping that I would get the, "I'm not feeling well. Oh, we're busy. Turns out we got to do this, this, and this." Mm-hmm. And he texted back, not even a minute later. He said, "Yep." Oh. And I said,
why do you got to be so like? Why do you got to be so hardworking, Ben?
Yeah.
Like, who wouldn't call it before 8 o'clock?
And you know something? For me, especially to Ben's house, because it's a 20-minute drive, it's just the drive. Once I'm there, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm happy I came. We're having a good time BSing and working on trucks and stuff.
Yeah.
But that just motivating myself to get out the door.
Yeah.
So I know exactly where you're coming from.
Let me ask you, did you go?
I did go. I did. I got back at 11:45.
11:45?
I know.
Did Annette call the authorities?
Don't worry. I had Find My Location turned on my phone.
Okay. Was there an APB?
There was not. But
got to 9:15. She thought, well, this is not the Steve I know. Mm-mm. And this is not more importantly, not the Steve I married. Because do you think Annette, when she decided, okay, I'm going to, if and when Steve asks me to marry him, which I'm assuming now that I say it out loud, I wonder if women have a moment. Like, do they have a certain moment? Or could they, if you asked, today, could you pinpoint a moment where you decided you would say yes?
I know Annette would.
She would?
Yeah.
I'd be curious to hear that if she'd be willing to divulge that. Obviously, if that's personal information. Maybe was it the first time I saw Steve cry in person? Was it, when he protected me from,
a bear.
A bear, or like a drunk person outside of a bar? Was it, when he opened the door for me on our first date?
Right.
Was it when he, was so nice to my parents upon first meeting? Whatever. I'd love to hear that tale. Because in my head, her answer would be, it was when he looked at me one night and like 8:15 said, "Why don't you just go to bed?"
Kind of tired.
And she thought, that's it.
That's the guy.
That's like, I know that we're going to be simpatico here. And we're going to be able to make this work. Because I could have dropped to my knees when we kind of had that acknowledgement at 11:45 or midnight, whatever, that we weren't going back out into the fray.
Good man.
At midnight.
Isn't that one of the best things about being an adult? God. Is when you realize, you have that realization, I don't have to do anything that anyone else wants me to do. I mean, obviously there are certain stipulations, like your job or whatever. You got to do that. You got to do what they tell you to do. But like in your personal life, you don't have to do a damn thing.
No, I know. Like, and I think there's a difference between not doing those things and the age or the point where you realize you don't have to, right? Because there's those age where you're like, well, I don't want to, but I'm going to.
But I need to. Yeah,
right.
That's your... For me, it was pretty much all of my 20s.
So I would say last night, in your early 30s now.
Sure.
At 7:55 p.m., that's for you, that's an outlier or an exception to the now rule, which is, no, I'm not getting out at 8 o'clock.
Right.
Why would I do that?
Yep.
What am I, some mongrel? Then I got to get back in with the dog not making noise. And what if Annette's in bed? Wake her up. I'm stomping around having ice cream at midnight, because who doesn't want ice cream at midnight?
And now that I'm an adult, I'm allowed to have ice cream at midnight.
Yeah. So now early 30 Steve can have ice cream at midnight. Yeah. So greasy Steve is in the kitchen dropping a spoon at 11:55, trying to be quiet while he sneaks 4 scoops of the
Rocky Road or something.
Of a Rocky Road, like searching for a marshmallow in there.
Is there still love for Rocky Road like there used to be? Man, that was good stuff.
Can we say Rocky Road is in the top? Because ice cream has changed dramatically over the past however many years, right? So, back in the day, it was, well, if it's not French vanilla, keep it away from my lips.
Right.
But now it's like brownie batter, triple scoop, Superman with and it has shards of waffle cone in it.
And it has a picture of Jimmy Fallon on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Why? Why does my ice cream need a celebrity endorser?
Yeah, I feel like saying, is Rocky Road still a thing, is not the proper way to put this on the poll, because obviously, yes, Rocky Road's still out there, but I feel like Rocky Road... Have we aged out of Rocky Road as an ice cream?
Maybe put that. Or is Rocky Road no longer on the Mount Rushmore of ice cream?
Oh. Boy, I don't know who's up there. Is it Ben or Jerry chiseling away the old Rocky Road photo from Mount Rushmore?
Turning it into something else.
The brownie batter triple scoop waffle cone shard ice cream that has taken the world by storm.
Yeah.
Now, I text you. I don't know if you have the text.
Did it come through? I got it. Yeah.
This was video 16, so you can get a little view of where I was.
Stand by. I'm just still downloading it off the old
no
machine
problem.
Here.
No problem. So I do have to tell you, though.
It's crazy how we're in 2025 at this point, and technology cannot figure out how to properly transfer a video between Android and iPhone without it looking like it is 35 years old.
Then maybe we could just
no.
And I can send it to you.
Nope. No. I think that this is going to stay.
Oh, no, it looks great.
First of all, it's got like a 9-inch black border around it.
Yeah, well, you got to square. You want to frame it, and that's thanks to Android for doing that.
Okay, if they could just get together on one thing, and say, let's just make it so that pictures and videos can work. But no. Okay, so here we go. This is
video 16.
No doubt a big entrance from
I don't even remember who it was.
Okay. Oh. Boy, the audio. Do you still have any idea who that is?
It's Jey Uso. Huh.
Where is he?
Well, if you look between pixel 4 and 5...
Oh, and everyone's doing like a wave type thing.
Video 16 happened to be a real good one for you, okay? Because a couple of them I had to ripcord because I was like,
man, thank you for bringing it out. Does that look good on your phone?
Yeah, no, it looks great. It does. It looks really good. Like 720p minimum.
Okay. All right. Well, remember where you were.
Let me see if on the text it pulls through. Oh yeah, looks great, Steve, on my phone.
Yeah. Not so much here.
Oh,
not so much here.
But yes, Royal Rumble.
Let me look at it on my actual phone and not on my computer. Let's see if it's. Wait a minute. Yeah, it looks a lot better normal on there.
Would you say? I mean, obviously,
look at that.
It's not a dollar amount that. Oh boy, I wish we could just plug into our phones.
Yeah,
I know we can, but we are. We paid for this mixer.
I could. Yeah. Anyway.
Seeing that though, like you see that video on your phone, and you can see where I am compared to the ring, right? So it doesn't look as bad or as far away as the photo. Okay.
No, you're right. In video, it looks much better. Would you do it again?
A lot of people say,
"Oh boy,
you don't want to ruin, that one great experience by doing it again."
Yeah, I mean, once you win the Super Bowl, why do you need to try for it again?
Nobody wants a back to back.
No,
the Royal Rumble was a great experience.
Mm-hmm. And
it was great to be at the Royal Rumble.
And
yeah, I don't need to go again.
Hey folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig.
Do it, Pig.
It's 3 times charm.
Yes, sir.
It looks like we have 2 items.
Yes. Yeah. One, I could not wait on.
Okay.
Because of our recording schedule over the last couple of weeks, this came in like 2 weeks ago.
Got it.
And there's no chance that I was letting a big package like this just sit there and wait.
And you never know if it's going to be a perishable.
Exactly.
So I understand.
Yeah. What if they had sent like a bushel of apples?
Right. So I'm curious to see what that is. While you get that, boy, it's a large rectangle. I'd say probably 16 or large square, probably 16 by 16.
Yeah.
I mean, made in China, so I'm assuming it's right off Amazon, because that's simply how it goes. We talked about that ourselves last week.
Yeah.
So okay, you got that ready. Let me get this. Again, 2025.
You got this.
The year of Kyle opening a letter.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy, I already don't like it.
You know what? I'm gonna start over. Okay, coming back in.
Okay, you're halfway there.
I need a. Huh?
Did you do it?
Yeah, but it's not. If it's not on one, it doesn't count for me.
I think it at least needs to be the 1, 2.
Right,
like,
not pull out and restart.
Yeah, all in one.
Yeah, the pull out restart's how you end up with another child.
Exactly.
We don't need that. That's as always, our friend coming through in the clutch. Steve,
who's that?
Billy Stacks.
Oh,
thank you, Billy.
Thank you.
From our friends at Broadway FCU. I'm assuming that's Federal Credit Union. Apologies, as always, to our now former friends at the BPPC in Sioux Falls.
They put up a good fight.
For the lost work. I'm sure there's layoffs happening right now.
All right, I'm going to pass this over to you. The brand name X&M.
Oh, no, I hear it all the time. X&M. When everybody's talking about items.
It's right up there with Apple and like Mercedes.
Yeah, if you check the NASDAQ Monday morning, look right below AAPL and like right above whatever Tesla's call sign is.
Right.
And you're going to find X&M.
X&M.
Lovely color pattern.
That's beautiful.
On that box. Let me open this
I can't wait for you to see what this is.
Now, is there any letter or note or anything?
I believe that there's a note in there.
Okay, good. I didn't want to, start ripping it in and asking who sent it. Okay, we've got a nice piece of foam. That's some security foam. That's triple ply. On
yeah.
That foam,
oh, yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Whoa! Would you look at this?
Yeah, there is a note in there, right? A little
yes,
note.
A note, a gift for you. One might call this clock the cock of the walk. And this is a clock with the cock of the walk right on it.
Beautiful chicken clock.
That is lovely.
Okay.
I mean, we have to hang that, right?
Pose for a quick picture with that, and then we'll oh, that's nice. That looks really nice. Who is that from?
Now, that is from our friend Will Egan, who I believe Will
Will
Egan is our award provider.
Our trophiesman.
Our trophiesman from the Pole Badness tournament for the last 4 years. Stand by if we're going to do that in 2025. Now, this thing... it
was so difficult to keep this a secret from you for the last 2 weeks. What's wrong?
Oh, so you just hang it right from there, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we have to hang it, right?
Of course.
I mean, this goes, I don't know where.
It goes with everything, though. I mean, it goes with, apparently we're trying to turn this room into like an old Applebee's where they just nail everything to the wall.
Yeah, this is what is the restaurant from Office Space?
Tchotchkes.
That's we're the literal incarnation of tchotchkes. Again, there's, as we talked about at the start of the episode, there's the Cheers sign, a signed Cliffy bobblehead, a Podconey award, a shattered glass photo of the Tuttle family from American Chopper, potato chips, a wooden Jeep, sand, and to fit with the theme, sand from the beach of Iwo Jima.
Yeah, of course.
Well, Will Egan, this is a delight. And as you heard...
I mean, I don't think... We don't deserve this.
It's glass.
It is. I thought for sure when I opened it up, I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's got to be like plexiglass or something. No, it's going to make a mess when it falls off the wall.
No question. Well, that is a delight. Thank you, Will Egan. Boy, oh boy, that is...
It's nice.
Talk about fitting with the theme. I got to get some clock being the cock of the walk merch on our shop because...
Yeah.
That right there is a beautiful, beautiful callback.
Oh, it's beautiful.
To what this potty... I don't even want... Obviously, I can't toss it. I'm going to go set it.
Yeah, definitely don't throw that thing. Thank you so much, Will. That will be... that'll be hung up in due time here in the APS.
No question. While we're on the topic of gifts, Steve, we have neglected... we mentioned this past year with the gift exchange that we were going to do another giveaway for somebody who joined. Now, we've got a shirt, a sweatshirt. We're going to throw some other merch in there. We're going to buy some other items as well to kind of throw together a gift bag for somebody who partook. So, Steve, if you would you be willing to open up a random number generator for me?
Yeah, I got one right here. Got a shortcut, random. There it is. Okay. And what's my minimum?
1.
Okay. My maximum?
Let's go with 51.
If you had said 2. All right. Are you ready?
I am ready.
This is a no frills number generator, so don't expect any sound whatsoever.
I just need a digit, and I will call out the winner.
Okay.
And we will work on getting that package out to that person ASAP.
Oh, it's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
First number is a 4.
Okay.
Second number is an 8. 48. 48's our big winner. Who do we got?
This is exciting.
Okay.
Friend of the show.
A FOFOS. A FOFOS.
So Dan Scheich.
Oh.
Tell your wife that she's got a gift package coming. Meg Scheich, thanks for joining.
Oh, thank you, Meg.
Oh, boy. She does not. I don't think she listens to the show.
I
believe if we've spoken to Dan, I believe Dan has said she's not a fan.
We need to include a handwritten letter.
Oh, no question.
Just praising her, saying how much we appreciate her
patronage,
her listenership.
And then maybe like some callbacks to like episode, like the early episodes that she would.
This reminds me of episode 146.
We will get that sent out to Meg Scheich, new FOFOS.
FOFOS.
Thank you for partaking. Well, I like doing that. I think we'll do that again next year as well to kind of encourage people to join a successful Steve & Kyle podcast, Cloak and Dagger non-denominational Winter Solstice gift exchange this past year by all measures.
Speaking of Dan Scheich, super listener to the show,
mm-hmm.
I might be meeting up with Dan when I'm down in Savannah, Georgia.
Oh!
Yeah. He had messaged me saying, hey, I heard you're coming to Savannah.
Yeah.
Gave me a couple of recommendations. He lives about an hour from there.
Okay.
And we might try to meet up, grab a drink, and have a good time.
Can this be the time? And I'm begging you.
Anything you ask me to, I will do.
Can you just find out what he does? I swear to God, I've been thinking about it. It's been years now.
Notorious knob pusher and dial turner.
I'll see on social media, like, hey, congrats to, Billy in the Tin Cans on your Critics' Choice Award. Was happy to master your most recent LP, Grass in the Sand. Thanks for your patronage to, Master Dial Turner Dan Scheich LLC. So please find out.
I gotta hear that song. What was it? Grass in the Sand?
Grass in the Sand off of the album
Sand in the Grass.
Real iconic. You sent me a text last night, and I'm using this as a throughway to get to not this conversation, but I do need an update on eventually on Stephen Annette's Facebook Marketplace sales coming up, because you sent me a text last night that filled me with joy.
What did I say? I don't even remember.
And I thought I've never been more needed in my life than right this second.
You know something? Let's rip the Band-Aid off right now. We'll just chat about it.
Because you said playing around with spreadsheets over here, and if you had been next to me in person, you would have seen the hair on my neck rise, my eyes glaze over,
a bulge in your pants,
like when they show cartoons, like Bugs Bunny saw was it Lola Bunny?
Yeah.
And the eyes pop out. Yeah. That was me. Because what you've now encountered is a spreadsheetsman. And I was so excited that you even said the word spreadsheet that within seconds I had my own spreadsheet open to get a screenshot to send it to you to say, oh, I'm sorry, you need spreadsheet advice? Because you came to the right place.
Okay. I was hoping you were going to finish that sentence.
No, because that would have been I
got you. Okay. Yeah, man.
So you're deep. So your Saturday night, to follow up your Friday night where you left the house at 7:55. Or was that Friday night?
No, that was Saturday night. This was Saturday kind of afternoonish.
Okay. My God.
It was a big day.
I don't know how you got out of bed this morning. Okay? Outside of, your two children probably screaming at you and doing whatever. Right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know how a man who goes out at 8 p.m. and spends his afternoon spreadsheeting can wake up in a timely fashion the following day. So kudos to you.
I know.
So Saturday afternoon comes around, you tell the kids, go find something to do.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy's
playing traffic.
That's right. I don't care if it's ice out there. I know it's not snow anymore. It's just ice. Mm-hmm. Go out there and slide. Okay, go slide down a slight grade. It doesn't matter to me. Daddy's got spreadsheeting to do.
Daddy's busy trying to figure out how to do a frozen header. That's a spreadsheet term.
Can you tell the kids to go play on ice because Daddy's got spreadsheeting to do? So you showed me a version of this spreadsheet for Stephen Annette's Facebook Marketplace sales a couple weeks ago.
I was embarrassed. But
let me tell you, for what you need, which is column A, items sold, column B, how much you sell it for, it did the job.
Yeah. Formula at the bottom to add it all up.
Yep. What spurred you yesterday on a Saturday afternoon to say, not good enough? And how could I survive off simply knowing the dollars we've made when, again, if you ask me, you have the spreadsheeting world at your fingertips?
I'll tell you what triggered this. Mm-hmm. And it was myself and my wife borrowing a friend's vehicle so we could drive down to the middle of nowhere and buy an entire pallet of garbage.
Okay. Because hearing the words from your mouth, of all people, that you had to borrow a car, like you didn't have enough here, which is a shocker of all shockers.
Upset.
Almost enough to make me leave my chair. Now, is this in reference? So you bought a pallet of crap.
Yes.
Is this in reference to the mystery boxes you guys bought? At this point, it's been 8 months ago, right?
Yeah, I think it was back in May or June. So when we got an entire box of 500 pairs of eclipse glasses
And
a month
planners.
after an eclipse.
2023 planners of the year 2024.
Which, shockingly, my wife managed to sell to somebody.
What an upset.
And shipped them to Wisconsin.
God, I'm so sorry, Wisconsin, that you have people like that who live there
know.
because I can't.
I know.
No idea how you justify that, but kudos to you.
Yeah.
So
We did it. We pulled the trigger.
this is, hang on. You're telling me you did it again?
We did it again. What have I told you?
You're not having another kid.
What have I told
you got
you?
another pallet? Because when you tell me you did it again, I'm like, oh no, I thought Steve got a vasectomy. I thought I thought they weren't having another, but you're not having another kid.
No.
You went and got a pallet?
We bought an entire pallet of stuff.
I'm going to need a moment because I need a moment to decide how to feel.
Mm-hmm.
And
I can give you some early stats too.
I'm not in therapy, but I feel like I would need to talk to someone about how I need to emotionally process this news.
Okay. You're excited, right?
Because begging would be an understatement to how I handled the news that you were becoming a palleter or a mystery boxer.
Uh-huh.
Begging us to take part in this.
I know. And I needed...
You hawk two-ed me. You rug pulled me.
I don't know if Hawk 2 would really... I don't think that...
That's true. I shouldn't have said that.
I don't think that applies in this situation.
I'm sorry.
To clarify, I did not Hawk 2 you.
I was using a current event in the news that I shouldn't have used because the double entendre of it does not fit with...
No.
Yeah. So to be clear, I was using the idea that Hawk Tua girl did one of those coins and then sold out her stake from underneath her investors to make money.
Yeah.
You...
I call it a pump and dump, which doesn't make it sound any better now that I say that out loud.
So Steve pump and dump and Hawk Tua me.
This podcast really hitting its stride.
Took 8 years. We're pumping, dumping, and Hawk Tua rug pulling each other.
I'll be up in an hour, honey. Just pumping and dumping.
Pumping and dumping my podcast co-host. No big deal.
Yeah.
So, I honestly don't know if we have time. Because I have 1 trillion questions.
Okay.
About
Get to the one that you want to ask that, and it's okay. I'm not gonna shy away.
Right.
Because I want to be held responsible.
Right.
And I want people to know whether this was, I want to be remembered for either the huge success it was or the massive failure it was.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
What finally ripped the Band-Aid off?
Oh, okay. I thought that you were going to go right for a money question.
No, you know what? I'm sorry. Let me rephrase.
Okay.
The first question I have: how dare you?
My apologies. Again, I didn't want to bring anyone else into this world of bad ideas until I realized just how bad an idea it was. But I'd be willing to negotiate for Pallet 2.
Okay.
Possibly a
Boy, you know what that screams to me?
partnership.
Before knowing anything, that screams to me that Pallet 1 didn't go very well.
What?
Are we looking at a couple bins of 2022 daily planners? Okay.
It just keeps getting worse.
Take me back to the process because we haven't talked about this in a couple of months. And I would say a couple of months in Steve and Kyle podcast land is deader than Leonard Skinnerd. Okay?
Yes.
Buried, gone, frozen, nobody's visited the grave for a while. That's the podcast lifespan of these ideas. So take me to how this got, 1, revived.
Okay.
And 2, who revived it. I'm sure you're going to give all these details.
Sure.
And then how it came to fruition that you're actually going to do it.
So at the beginning of the year, I think I had told you at the end of last year, Annette had finally dabbled in selling stuff on Marketplace. And she's been doing really good, getting rid of a lot of kid stuff that we don't need anymore. The things that they grow out of in like a month.
And that's a nice feeling for once you decide, like, hey, we're having 2
We're
kids,
done, yeah.
we're done. They're in an age where, hey, they don't need this diaper, whatever. We can get rid of it. So you're looking at downside.
Yeah, and they accumulate so much stuff, especially around the holidays. Like, oh, now we have this an entire influx of new toys.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of the old stuff. Start purging. So she started posting stuff, and she's been selling stuff left and right. Like, to, you know, and not making a ton of money, but it's been great because we've been cleaning out the house a little bit. So at the beginning of the year, I said, it would be interesting to know how much we sell over the course of the year on Marketplace. Just getting rid of stuff.
How many dollars are you guys raking in from the new side business that you want to keep track instead of just saying, hey, we did pretty good?
It's found money,
yes,
too. So that way we can earmark it and say, this is going to go for vacation, or
yes,
you know, your car needs new tires, so we'll just do it for that. So I made a little rudimentary spreadsheet.
Yep.
And in the month of January, I tracked everything that we sold, and it added up to $105.
$100 in your pockets.
Found money.
That you didn't, $100 in your pockets or your kid's future college pocket that you didn't have on December 31st.
Now, if I jump over to sheet 3 of my spreadsheet, which is truck stuff sales.
Can we pull this up on the Tron for me?
Sure.
Unless there's something hidden under that, you know, you're waiting to unveil.
I won't pull it up yet. Won't pull it up just yet.
Truck stuff. So you're adding sheets to your workbook.
Come on, man.
Because you're selling off stuff from the shop.
Because I had sold something for like $150 out in the shop.
Sure.
And she was like, she specifically said, well, no, that's yours, like, to do, you know, reinvest that into your shop or working on the truck or something. And I was like, all right, that's very nice of you. So there's certain stuff that is sold just for the purpose of reinvesting in the Comanche.
Right. So you're not going to count that?
No. But I'll give you a total for January, $215 just from truck stuff.
So are you just out there in the warehouse looking at things on the Comanche going, I don't need that seatbelt.
Do we need 4 wheels?
Right. Like, I don't know.
I can get by with 3.
Axle schmaxle. And then you're knocking it off with a hammer.
Speaking of which, I got a 2-wheel drive front axle ready to hit Marketplace very soon.
Primed, ready to go?
Very soon.
Like freshly cleaned?
No.
Freshly from the snow next to the shop?
Freshly removed. So yeah, we started keeping track of it, and we're like, wow, $100 for January. That's pretty great. Mm-hmm. And then slowly we started to, remember when we bought those Amazon mystery boxes? What do you think about that?
Who said that first?
Honestly, I think it might have been Annette.
That would make sense to me because you had seemed to move past it. You ended up the burglary keys made you a profit. Mm-hmm. But you had seemed to think and understand, if I didn't sell these items to all these future larcenists, you were going to just lose the money you invested.
Yeah, I was confident that we would eventually make our big purchase back of, I think it was like $135 or $145. I was confident we'd make that back, but it took a long time before we turned a profit on it.
So you're saying, but Annette had that sparkle. That sparkle that, you know, the first time you said, let's go to bed at 8:30, the first time you held the car door open, that sparkle was back at the idea that maybe this is something we should do again.
Well, I think that, and that's kind of in a point in her life where our kids are, you know, we're 2 years away from both kids being in school full time. So she's talked a lot about like what her next chapter is going to look like.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's going to be back to work full-time, part-time, doing this, doing that. So we had thought about this, and she's like, well, maybe we could do some of that pallet flipping.
Okay.
And I was like, all right.
That's a step up from saying, let's go grab a few more mystery boxes, too.
That's true, yeah.
Because
we're going, you know, into the fire with this, because it's, again, I needed to borrow a vehicle to go in and pick this thing up.
And it seems like our version of what a mystery pallet would be, which, again, I was pretty dead set that if you and I were going to do this, it was only the DHL pallet.
Dude, I need to bring you down there.
I'd love to go visit.
Just so you can see what the DHL pallets look like.
Yeah, okay.
So we went there. We formulated a plan. We were doing a little bit of research on the different, because you can go there and get Amazon returns or Walmart or Target or DHL, UPS undeliverables, FedEx undeliverables. There's like 15 different kinds.
I would assume pallet liquidating people would probably tell you to, hey, there's a hierarchy to this. You want this one, you don't want this one. You're not going to find good stuff there. If you like a half-used pack of diapers, get the Walmart one.
Right.
If you want, some overpriced cosmetics, go with the Target one.
There's definitely, and there's different prices for all of them. You could pay $150, you could pay $1,000. They had an entire pallet of DeWalt tools, completely unopened, for $6,000. I mean, so if you want to be serious about it, you can do that.
Tools.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at a $6,000 pallet, do you think you could have eyeballed if you could profit off that or no? Because that's expensive for a not know what you're getting liquidation pallet.
It's a lot. I don't know. I just don't know enough about it.
You'd probably be distracted, like, well, I'll just keep this one,
and
then this one, and then this one.
Well, I do kind of need this.
DeWalt's a nice brand. And,
So Annette, I was like, if you want to do this, that's cool. We can do it. And
nice of you to because. Would you say you had thought your liquidation pallet career had ended post mystery box? If I'd asked you 3 weeks ago,
3 weeks ago, I would have said no. We're going to do it again.
Okay.
Maybe 2 months ago, I would have said no. I don't want the hassle.
Boy, it's like a little brain worm.
It
got
is.
its way back
It
in,
is.
right? You were
And
looking at
it all started when we were out on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And just talking about the year ahead and financially and things we have to save for and this and that.
And that went out the window when we spent $6,000 on a DeWalt pallet.
Can I interest you in 4 drills?
They're the same.
Who doesn't need 3 backups?
Okay, so I would say that Annette placed the worm near the ear. It did its job over the course of a little bit of time to where you said, it's not like you were dead set against it. But again, if I had to pick which one of you would have said 6 months ago, I'm not going to do this again, it would have been you.
Yeah, I think that we were both intrigued enough by it that the conversation was able to be had.
Boy, you know me. I hate to make this about myself.
You're right.
I'd like to weasel in on that credit.
You know something? 33 and a third. 33 and a third upstairs.
Yeah.
33 and a third right across the table from
I'd
me.
even be willing to bump you guys up to 34 because I didn't do the financial part of this.
Right.
But I kept the mystery box / liquidation palette alive in your brain.
You did.
Because I begged you to do it with me.
In my heart. Not in my brain.
So you took the idea that I kept in your heart.
Yes.
And did it with your wife, which is what a smart person would do.
Yeah.
Where's the pallet right now?
The pallet is the pallet itself is sitting out in the backyard.
Oh, I didn't see.
All of the stuff has been removed from the pallet, and it's just on the other side of this wall.
Okay.
So can I interest you in some sale items?
We need to wrap this episode up because we need to do a video walkthrough of some of the items you got from this liquidation pallet that we will post on it'll be on our social media this week at Stephen, or it might have to be on our YouTube link, but it'll be posted on our social media at Stephen Kyle, and we'll give you a little walkthrough of what Steve got in the liquidation pallet. So,
Kyle, I currently have 62 items listed on Marketplace.
I'm sorry. You know what? I'm going to take a step back because I need to stop talking. Because as we're running up against the Robert clock, is what we like to call it, and once we get past 60 minutes, Robert turns it off.
Yeah.
Brother Robert. We haven't even gotten to the good stuff. Mm-hmm. To what, we've only gotten to the part of you guys agreeing to do it.
Feel free. Go ahead. Fire away. It can be like Fast Five.
I'm going to take a step back.
Okay.
And you give a rundown quickly of, picking the pallet, getting down there, borrowing a car, all that stuff. I'll shut up.
Got it. Stopped by my buddy Ben's house. He said, yep, take the truck. So he's got a full-size truck, so I could put an entire pallet in the bed of it. So we wouldn't have to drive 2 separate cars and just load everything individually. Right. We went down there. We walked through the whole warehouse. Annette was pretty set on wanting to do a Walmart pallet.
Okay.
And they had 8 of them there. I think 4 or 5 of them were spoken for, so we had 2 or 3 to pick from. And
hot item then.
We had it narrowed down to between 2. And I was like, go ahead, flip a coin, whatever.
You're knocking on it like a watermelon?
That's the thing. You can't touch. I mean, you can look in, and the pallet, it was probably stood 4 feet tall, so you could easily look in. You see what's on top, but you have no idea what's in the bottom. And so on the top, we're like, okay, and there's an air fryer. There's a one of those backyard fire pit ring things. So we're like, okay, this one looks good. So we decided. We went up to the desk. We said, we'll take that one there. The woman said, write your name on it. We wrote our name on it. And the guy came with a pallet jack, jacked it up. Dude with a forklift put it right in the back of the truck. Do you want to ask the question?
I mean, I right now I have a bunch. How big was the pallet? Did you
Standard.
throw out the soiled diapers from the Walmart pallet before you got in the car? And I already got the watermelon joke off. Okay.
So the cost.
Oh, the other question: have you ever felt more inept that you needed to use someone else's vehicle after all the vehicles you've had throughout the day and a trailer, all this stuff? Yet here we were.
It was emasculating.
2025, and after everything you've done, rebuilt vehicles, had trucks. At one point, you had 2 trucks of the same truck.
Oh, 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel drive. I mean, big difference.
Yet here we sat in 2025, and Steve, of all people, had to borrow a truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm done again. So you load it up. I'm not going to ask you what you spent. That's not our business.
No, it's fine. I'm perfectly. Again, I want to be held accountable for this.
Okay. So what are you in for? Straight pallet purchase, nothing else.
Pallet was $675.
$675. Was that middle of the pack
before taxes? So after taxes, $715.
Okay.
And 50 cents.
$715.50. Was this middle of the pack in terms of Walmart pallets? Was it higher end, lower end, or was it average?
I don't know. There's like all the Walmart pallets are the same price.
Yeah.
All the Target pallets are the same price. All the UPS ones are the same price. This for price range, I'd say this was kind of middle of the road.
Was there a certain item or things on there or box that you or Annette saw that tipped the edge for this pallet compared to a different one?
Yeah, I would say it was the there were a stick vacuum, like a battery operated stick vacuum. We saw 3 of them.
Okay, $100 each, minimum $100 each.
So we were like, all right, well, that's, because I'm thinking retail is probably this. I'm looking stuff up on my phone. Okay, I could probably sell for $75. So, I mean, if there's 3 of them right on top, maybe there's more on the bottom. There's an air fryer. That's probably $50.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we settled on that one and then drove it home. So we were driving separately because Annette had to go somewhere. She had to go pick up Evelyn right when we got back. So we
to dump her off at the park.
We're driving.
Occupy herself for an hour.
We're driving home. I have the thing ratcheted down in the bed of the truck, and we're driving home. And she was following me, and all of a sudden I saw her hazards come on and pull over.
Oh no!
A big truck had passed me, and I guess whoosh, this big gust of wind lifted something up out of the back, and it flew out. Luckily, it was nothing.
A stick vacuum.
Yeah, right. And 3 stick vacuums and an air fryer.
Chasing them down the road, begging, the Civic to not run over it.
Yeah. So, luckily, that was the only issue we had. Yeah. Got back, unloaded it. There's, I think, about 115 or 120 items in there.
Okay.
There were a few things, like one was a little cup or a little box. And when you shook it, the glass was broken in it. There was like a drinking glass in there that had just broken. So I think we threw out maybe 3 things. So that was good. There was I forget there was one thing, but it was like nobody. What am I going to sell this for a nickel?
Right.
No, just threw it out. Right. Not even worth it.
So you got home. Okay, sorry.
We have yet to get through all of it because we've just been opening stuff up, taking pictures. She's sending me the info. I'm posting it on Marketplace. Next item. So I think, again, we have 50 or 65 items or so posted right now. Okay. There's probably 40 or 50 more. We have about half of them posted. The rest of them will hopefully go up today.
Okay. So kids going to bed 2:30 in the afternoon.
It is.
Mommy and Daddy got palleting to do.
The kids both do a quiet time in the afternoon.
Oh, nice.
Where Nicky just goes up and lays in his crib. Usually doesn't sleep. Evelyn goes, sits in her room, listens to her Tony box or plays with her Barbies or something.
No. Missed opportunity.
That's when we do some paladin.
No. Those are worker hands you're putting in quiet time.
That's true.
Okay? These are kids who you were paying to pick up sticks.
Yeah.
And it seemed like at least one time they were happy and excited to do it.
She got like $1. She picked up 100 sticks.
Oh, God, I gotta tell you, that's a good going rate. For you.
For me,
Not so much for her.
Yeah, she doesn't know.
Those are working hands.
Yeah.
No, Nicky B. I told you to pose the coffee mugs behind the white backdrop so the color will pop. And obviously,
what's with the shadows in this picture? Come on.
I'd just like to see reevaluate today.
Yeah.
Make this a family operation this afternoon.
All right. I can try that.
So you unpacked it all and just started hauling it downstairs.
Yeah, and The first, so that was on Friday. Friday we posted the first stuff. I think we picked up the pallet on Thursday.
Yep.
Yeah, brought it all downstairs and posted the first wave. And
so you're only at this point 48 hours into it, less than 48 hours.
Yeah,
into
roughly.
it.
Yeah. So at this point, 48 hours in.
Oh, don't give me a total yet.
Okay.
Don't give me a total yet. Because you said you had 65 items posted.
Yeah.
60 plus.
Yeah, 60-ish.
I want to know where you're at mentally 48 hours in. Are you...
I'm nervous.
Okay.
I'm very nervous.
That's what I was curious. I didn't know, because obviously there's... You open that pallet and you're either... There's a million ways you could feel, but you could be over the moon, right? Be like, hey, I found, ABC that is worth $500. Like, we're going to make our money back off of 2 items. Great. Now we're in the green. You could be deflated, overwhelmed, or kind of,
So over the moon, deflated, or I would say I was under the moon.
Okay.
After we went through everything.
Unpacking. You're
unpacking everything.
Okay.
Annette was very happy.
Okay.
She was very, very confident.
Would you say that you peaked at the stick vacuums? Not you personally. You still got a job. You have a wife.
No. There's a couple things.
Okay.
Couple things.
I can't wait to shoot this video. I'm so excited to shoot this, to see all the junk that's taken over that room right now.
Yeah.
Let me ask your Facebook method to the madness, because what I found in selling like we talked about kids items has been marketplace. But I've had to find myself joining, I think, 11 garage sale.
I'm going to have to compare notes to you because I'm in 7 and I'm looking for more.
Got to add.
Okay.
I'll give you my list.
Appreciate it.
But that's where I found the most success with like those type of items. Not necessarily pallet items, obviously, but with, hey, here's a water table.
Yep.
Right? It's been less off marketplace, more off of those individual pages. And I think that's, not to be rude, I think it's an age thing.
Yeah.
I think, grandma's seeing... Ooh, I like garage sales, and I can just do it on my phone in font size 3000.
Yeah.
Great. Where have you seen the successes in the past 48 hours? Has there been anything that has let you down that you thought, oh, well, these are going to be gone by tonight?
I guess I don't know specifically where the people are seeing the posts, whether it's coming from Marketplace or, the individual garage sale groups. But I will tell you, I have made 4 sales so far.
4 out of 60-ish.
4 out of 60-ish. Do you want to know a total of how much I've made back?
Yeah, and again, this doesn't matter because you're in for 7:15, but you're only 48 hours into this. So I don't want the number you say to make it feel like you're ahead of the game or behind the game. 4 sales in. Where are you at total returned money wise?
$140.
Not bad.
20%. Roughly.
Would you say those 4 items, when you unpacked them from the pallet, would you have put them in the upper echelon of these are going to return more than, the bottom half of the pallet?
One of them, yes. Okay. One of them, maybe. Technically, I've sold 5 items because one of them there were 2 of them. Okay. So the person bought both of them. I have sold 2 queen-size air mattresses, brand new. $35 a piece. I would have,
granted, without knowing what's on the pallet, I would see those, unpack them, and say, hey, these are going to be in the upper echelon of what we're selling.
They're nice. They got the built-in pump and everything.
Yep.
I have sold a countertop ice maker for $35.
That feels like you may have undervalued it.
I think so. I got a lot of messages about it.
I was going to say, though, my brother has one for camping. Those are one of the best things you could get because... when you're in a tent or when you're in a trailer, whatever, those are things you can't find unless you go to the shop, pay $6 for a bag of ice.
Right. But does your brother have the brand that we had, which was a lot of letters and no pronunciation available?
XNM?
Like Singrandams.
Okay.
So
30, but still, it's not like that's, I'd still say when you're getting a liquidation pallet, and this is me as an outsider, I would say you would anticipate most of the stuff on there you're going to sell for less than $15 an item. If I had to guess, like the majority is going to be there, and you're hoping for a handful of things in that upper half.
Yeah.
To tip the scale
your
in your
random
favor.
$50, $100.
So the fact you've sold 4 items at an average of, $35 a pop, positive.
There was a pair of slippers that were like UGG brand knockoffs.
Okay, so schmug.
Yeah. So we $25 for the pair of schmugs.
Did you like when you're taking the picture, put your thumb over the first 2 letters? Be like,
No,
hey!
in fact, I called it like knockoff UGG slippers.
Knockoff Uggs, perfect.
Yeah, I'm an honest man.
Yes.
And then the one item, which I probably could have priced for $1,000 based on the response I got for it. But again, I look up all this stuff, so I know what the original price is.
And I know you said you're a man of integrity, so I'm going to let you say what you sold and how much you sold it for. But then I have an important question to ask you after that.
Okay. A foot massager. One of those things that you just set your feet on, and it's got like the little like rolling things that go around and massage your feet.
Wouldn't have expected it.
$10.
Okay.
I think on Walmart's website it was $15. So I was like, I'm in that weird spot. Like, and of course I'm looking at this thing like nobody's gonna want this. Yeah. I woke up yesterday morning with like 15 messages about that. Do you still have this? Will you deliver it to me? I'll pay you extra.
And first of all, no, don't ask.
Oh, I'm open to anything. I'm even open to taking it with me to work. So if the person works close to where I work, I'll meet up with you. Anything to make a sale.
I have a question and observation. Which one would you like first?
Observation. Okay. And now the question.
The observation is I don't want to. I want to brace you because I don't want to hurt you with this. But I want you to know it's not a positive observation.
Okay.
I think you lost your touch. No offense. I don't mean that to hurt you. I just want to. Granted, this is me. One finger in my ear, one finger in a nostril, not understanding what's on the palate and how the game works.
You're an OP. You're an outside palatsman.
I'm an
IP. I'm an inside palatsman.
Obviously, but I remember Steve, the marketplaceman, for what he was. Okay, and I want to build you back up to that guy who
demands that people take rusty nails, hammered through
rotted wood
in order to get a bird bath top.
While you're watching a guy take apart a shed, you got a cup of tea, and you're watching him from your window with no shame.
Yeah, giving him the finger every.
You're loading stuff to your workplace to sell it, Steve.
I'm taking it with me in case the person that I want to meet up with is if that's the deciding factor. Like if they're like, oh, $40, I'd do that, but you live 25 minutes away, I don't really want to. I'm willing to drop it in there. But I have for a fee. Yeah. So.
And I reserve the right to change my opinion. Okay? When I come back next week and you're like, hey, I made this goofball, unscrew it from the pallet that it was like nailed to.
I told him he had to park in the street and take off his pants and walk through the snow to get to my front door.
And I made him take the pallet too.
Oh, no, I'm not giving away a pallet. What are you, crazy?
Maybe sell a few bucks, $5.
Get a couple bucks for it.
Now the question I have for you: you wake up, you see a boatload of messages on the Zuzu, but it's ZUUU ZUU exclamation foot massager.
Sure.
You're in this for the money, and so I think. The question I'm about to ask, I don't mean it disparaging. I mean it as I think I would legitimately consider it in that instance. Did you consider taking it down and reposting it for a different price?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
But
I also considered the, sorry, that one is sold, but I have this one. It looks exactly the same, but it's the fancier model.
Okay. So why, did you? Well, obviously you didn't. Why not?
I don't know. I think that
trying to preserve the name as a pallet. You don't want the pallets, pallet liquidator anonymous. Hey, I just dealt with this new guy, and boy, did he new guy me. Okay, he tried to upsell me on a foot massager.
No,
don't deal with Steve.
I think this is probably a bad line of work for me to get into because anytime I have stuff posted, I just want it gone immediately. So now I have that feeling times 130 because that's how many items I have. And so for me, it's a game. It's post, sell, post, sell. The faster, the less amount of time in between the post and the sell. For me, it's like a little dopamine shot or whatever.
Get it in the house. Needs to be gone as soon as possible. Even if you're sacrificing, in the long run, a few bucks.
Yes.
Okay. Would Annette agree with that? Or
Yes.
would she say, I don't mind holding it? Let's say, hey, it's an inner tube. And now, granted, you could sell that inner tube for $10 today, maybe. But obviously, June hits and little Tommy's inner tube breaks on day one of the boat.
Yeah.
They need one. You could sell it for 20 or 15. You want it gone for 10.
There's a couple things in there that I'm holding off on.
I
don't want to reveal some of the tricks that I got up in my sleeve for, shall we say, the October, November, early December time of the year.
Whoa! I can't wait to take this video. I need the video walkthrough in my life right now.
Yeah.
I can't believe the thing that was going to reinvigorate Steve the salesman or sink him. Steve and Annette's pallet liquidation.
Yeah. So I'm going to need some help with a spreadsheet, bare minimum. Can I do formulas across sheets?
Jackass.
I'm.
Yeah.
Can I hire you to be my bookkeeper?
How do you think I linked my sports book totals from December, which is a different workbook, to January, which is the 2025 tracking? Okay.
Now, do you work exclusively in Excel?
I work exclusively in Google Sheets because it's free.
Okay. What would it take for me to get you to buy a Mac and work in numbers? Because that
Same thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure it all cross pollinates. Because
Maybe I'll share you I'll share the sheet with you.
You send me the link. I promise I won't mess with it. I might make a copy of it. And
Sure.
then mess with it.
Make a copy of it, mess with it, and then send me back your notes.
What if I just send you back a blank because I said this is no way a reasonable spreadsheetsman could start, and I'm just going to have to build this from the ground up.
That's fine. I won't be offended. I am perfectly happy with people helping me with things that I do not know how to do myself.
Jesus Christ, have we ever been so old? We spent this episode.
I swear to God, I'm going to send you this thing right now.
We spent this episode, me complaining about my legs hurting from standing up from a chair in an arena. Too much.
I mean, like 30 times, right?
And you leaving the house at 8 p.m. was too late. And now,
Spreadsheet.
building spreadsheets.
I am, let's see, let's find it in my drive. Yeah, there it is. Numbers. So I'm going to send you the numbers version of it.
Yeah.
Marketplace.
I'll have to find a conversion. No problem.
I think it'll open in Google Docs.
It probably Google's pretty available to integrate with. So stay tuned because listeners.
I'm looking now. There's 3 pages on it. I'm looking for input.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for any recommendations you can give. I'm happy.
I'll listen. I don't want it to hurt, so let me start by saying I would plan on just the reply email to be like a bomb emoji.
Okay.
But I'm going to build that sucker from the ground up, Steve. Okay.
For some reason, it's not letting me attach it to an email, so I'm going to put it in our Google Drive.
No worries. I will take a look at this. I will spend arduous hours telling you what you've done wrong.
Good.
This week. And that's probably it. I'm not going to tell you how to make it better. I'm just going to tell you what you did wrong. The first email, I'd plan on a numbered list.
Just criticisms.
Numbered list. And I would say let's start the bidding at 25 items. Okay. I haven't seen the spreadsheet, but let's start it at 1 through 25 of what you did.
Let's just assume. All right. It is officially uploaded.
Perfect. So stay tuned because I would argue next week we could probably pick a few items. Maybe they're items that Steve's struggling to sell.
Yeah.
And we could have Steve's Marketplace Corner.
Oh, well, let's do it.
Where you sales pitch a few of the items on there and see if we got any buyers out there in the podcast universe who might be interested in some automated nail clippers.
Is that a thing?
I have no idea. The idea of clipping's too hard. So they need an automated. I know for dogs there are. Yeah. And like animals. So stay tuned. Steve's Marketplace Corner giveaway. Not giveaway. Steve's Marketplace Corner sales. Yeah. Next week, right here on the Steve and Kyle podcast.
All right. At Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Keep an eye out. We'll do a video at some point in the next week or so to showcase.
We're going there right now.
My treasures.
Yeah. I want this music to be 3x so I can get in that room quicker.
All right. We'll talk to you next week.